Core field stabilized. Intaro Atun.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today on Polypoid, it's going to be Snow and RoyaL. We've got some people watching, not sure who they are. It's A, B, C, and NRJ. Bottom left is going to be our Purple Protoss player. It is Snow. And in the top left, guess who it's going to be? It's going to be RoyaL. RoyaL did win an ASL. Snow did not win an ASL, but maybe he's going to win the current SSL. But man, Sulky is waiting in the wings, isn't he? All right, so yes, it's going to be Friday StarCraft. Thanks to Michael, who did a donation for PayPal for me in a $100 amount. So thank you very much, Michael. I do appreciate it so much. And yeah, so as a favor, and because of the donation, we're going to do Friday Brood War all through the month of October. So get ready for that. StarCraft? I was going to say Star Wars. What the heck, brain? StarCraft 7 times a week on this channel. Yo. So, here we go. PvT here on Polypoid. A giant 4-player map. Are we going to go Nexus first, Snow? No. Throwing up a gateway. Respecting RoyaL. Respecting RoyaL so much. Because again, he did win an ASL, and sometimes he doesn't look like he did, but other times he looks like he did. So let's go ahead and see how he does in the SSL that he is currently competing in, as well as Snow. Only one person can win, but if you get to the Final Four, I kind of feel like you did enough to prove that you are belonging in the elite level of StarCraft Brood War players in 2024. Steve the SCB scouting out the wrong way. That's okay because it's not a Nexus first. There's nothing to scout. Cybernetics Core coming in. Yep, so Dragoons are in the future here for RoyaL early, and he knows that. Because he didn't go Command Center first. Rax, let's see, is no gas here? Yeah, so Rax expand timing here from RoyaL. Gonna throw up a bunker. And everything is A-OK early in this PvT. What else is going on in the world here? Saw Transformers 1. Had a good time at that. Honestly, 2 thumbs up. Take your kids. You probably have kids if you're watching this, right? You're 35 to 45 years old. Like, that's generally my viewership demographics according to YouTube. So, and if you don't have kids, go watch it. I enjoyed it on my level, too. It's not one of those kids movies I take my kids to and I'm like, that sucked. Why did I do that? So, yeah, check it out. Additionally, man, the Joker sequel, Foyer 2, is getting some horrendous reviews. I don't know, like, people are wondering what the heck Todd Phillips, the director, is even doing with the film, like, on a basic level. So, that's not great. The first Joker movie I thought was enjoyable and really well done. But I was annoyed at the fact that it's not the Joker. It's like Joker aesthetics. He obviously puts the face paint on. Right? He talks about how society is garbage, and he shoots a guy at a talk show. Like, that's something the Joker would do. But it's not the Joker. He doesn't have plans. The other problem is, if there's no Batman in your story, the Joker doesn't have a lot to do, it turns out. And this is something that DC and Sony have really kind of struggled with. Is that, like, they don't understand that certain characters only exist because of the existence of another character. So, for example, the Venom movies are fun. I think Tom Hardy's really having fun with them. I think the Venom character is interesting and entertaining. But a Venom character without a Spider-Man character to bounce off of is kind of like, what? Like, what are we doing? And it's the same thing with making a Joker character that doesn't have a Batman character to bounce off of. They exist because the other thing exists. Anyway, those are my rantings and ravings. Joker 2 movie looks pretty bad. Nice SCV snipe there by that Dragoon. In the meantime, the bunker's up. Hey, we saw that coming. Factory coming in. Second base on the way here. Probably would like to get a third base pretty quickly here for Snow, unless he wants to try to bust this thing or make enough Dragoons to snipe a tank that's going to show up here sooner rather than later. It's really up to Snow to say, how many Dragoons do we want to make here versus how fast do we want to expand, probably to this third base. Probably to that third base. Yeah? Yeah. Anyway, Dragoon range is up. We're just going to sit here and fire on this bunker endlessly because, I guess that's what we do here if we are A Dragoon, yeah? Yeah, I think it is. Pretty much. We just shoot at bunkers. That's all we do. Maybe try to kill tanks every once in a while. There's a Robo. Now, are we going to get fast Robo facility before expanding? We're going to try to reverse slow down the economy here. Observatory, yes. Definitely an observatory, but I got to keep an eye on that timing, and we're going to get a third base before we go for the Robo Bay, if, in fact, Snow's going to go for the Robo Bay. Definitely could, mind you. Definitely probably will, based on Snow's performance and what he's known for, which is insanely good Reaver control. Right? Right. What do we got here? Raptor Pylon. Neat. That's a Nexus. Wonderful. All right, we've seen all this stuff. Second factory coming in. We're getting siege mode first. Like I said, we're getting tanks because of the Dragoon count. Siege mode's not done yet, so this one tank can't really do much. And again, it's that there are 4 Dragoons firing at your bunker. You need 4 SCVs to repair the damage being done to your bunker. Siege mode done, and that's a back out. You take 1 shot from the tank, you get out of there. There's no reason to stand in there anymore. Another gateway coming in. We've got a pretty fast Charon boost upgrade here. Instead of going for Vulture, Spider Mines, or Speed, he's going for Charon boost after Siege mode off of the 1 machine shop that he's got. So he's worried about drops. Now, this is the mind games, right? You are playing against Snow. He's probably gonna Reaver drop you. Having Goliath with range is great against that. And again, I was gonna say, but if he doesn't do that, you kind of just got Charon boost for no reason. But guess what? We did. We're getting a support bay. So Reavers are gonna play in here. There's a shuttle too. You really don't make Reavers without getting shuttles at this level of StarCraft. Maybe you do at the lower leagues. You're like, yeah, my Reavers will just push on this Terran player and be totally fine and not take siege tank shots to the face when you walk up to a bunker. You will take siege tank shots. So that's where it comes in, the shuttle. And I'll never forget, man, like I remember watching video, like really short video clips that were being posted on the, Internet 1.0 back in 98, 99, the year 2000, that showed Reaver drop and shuttles being used with Reavers in amazing ways. And he's hiding that Robo Bay, isn't he? He's hiding it over here at the 3rd. I don't think this got scanned. But yeah, and I mean, all of me and my friends that love StarCraft, we were like, oh, because the weakness of the Reaver. It's another scan. Well, I mean, range helps you kill obs, but the weakness of the Reaver is that it's slow. And if you put it in a shuttle, it's fast now. But it takes a lot of APM, takes a lot of good control, and that's not easy to do. So you're not going to see a lower level player pull that off very, very easily at all. 4th base before the 3rd base of the Terran. Snow is feeling macro-y here today. 3rd CC is on the way from RoyaL, so it's not like he's going to fall immensely behind. There's another scan. He still doesn't see. I don't think he knows that there is a Robo Bay. He's continuing to look for it. I mean, look, the man, he's not building turrets over here either, and he's not spider mining this up. But he does have his army sitting in his base. He's got a tank covering this mineral line. Let's see where Snow decides to go with this. He might. Oh, there's another scan. He's like, again. You don't seem to have a Robo Bay. But I mean, he's waiting. He's waiting for the push out. He's like, you don't have a 3rd base yet. You're going to push out on me soon. And he's probably not crazy wrong about that. At the very least, we can probably try to deny this 3rd base too. So Snow playing this well. He still hasn't taken this 4th base. He knows about this. He had an obs in this general area. Yeah, and now he comes in and sees the 3rd CC and says, okay, so you're just building it inside your main. So I think it's time for me to toss up. Toss up ye old thing. Come on, Nexus. You got this. Come on. Reaver shot. Ob's getting sniped. Obs does die because it stopped running. It could have kept running and probably lived there, but it's just like, this is good enough. Dead. Deader than a doornail. All right. So, yep, this is just going to be a little bit of back and forth play here. Push and pull. As RoyaL's going to slowly siege up and be able to take a 3rd base while Snow finally starts a 4th Nexus. He could have started that, I want to say, at least 2 or 3 minutes ago and been fine. Reaver shots, good. Oh, Reaver kind of sitting on this high ground a little bit. Is that thing visible? That thing is not visible. Now he gets up to the high ground and he can see it. Did it lose? Ow! It lost its shuttle, or... Yeah, I guess it lost its shuttle. Zealot Bowman! Jumping Dragon Spider Mines into those siege tanks. Zealots getting down there too, causing all sorts of issues on the tanks. Shots on that command center. They're not going to be able to kill it, but they're going to force a repair, or else make it a lot easier for it to go down when he comes back later. That's what Snow's working on here. And a couple tanks die too. A couple Dragoons out. Yes, makes perfect sense. Makes absolutely perfect sense. Snow's playing this to the letter. And yeah, whether or not RoyaL actually scanned that RoboBay here at the 3rd base, he knows there's Reavers, so I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. Storm's coming in as the follow-up here. Big fan of Stasis in this matchup. I do feel like Protoss has a higher win rate against Terran when they use Stasis than when they use anything else. I think Storm is good, and we've definitely seen Protoss players defeat elite Terran players using Psionic Storm. But I think Stasis is better. I just do. I mean, if the enemy is not going for like a hajillion Goliath, then I think you're generally kind of okay with it, man. Arbiters come in from over here, Stasis. Coming from this direction, Stasis. And then you attacking into a siege tank line is a lot less intimidating because guess what? Half of the force is gone. It's been put into another dimension effectively. So some vultures are scouting around down here, hanging out. Science facility done, so science vessel in production. Further vehicle plating on the way. The Terran is at +2 attack and +0 armor. Protoss ground forces are at +100 on the other side of it. We got some High Templar for Storm. We have some Reavers. We have some Zealots. And there's a line of turrets defending the main base from just this very thing. That's the reason those turrets are there. So you're like, can we maybe defend this attempt at expanding up this way? As Snow takes a quick 5th base in the bottom right. And is really contemplating a 6th base here, too. RoyaL, I don't know. That might be an overextend. RoyaL, again, his macro's insane. He's going to be maxed out within a couple minutes here. And he is going to move out. So if you overextend by making too many Nexuses here at 1250, that can definitely come to just come back to bite you as a Protoss player. More scans. Just trying to... He does see that this is here. And probably... I mean, free probe is a free probe? Sure, free probe is nice. Coming up the right side a little bit. This is, there you go, Science Vessel catches it, sees these guys over here. Making a beeline right up to this high ground with a ton of Zealots, a Reaver, and there's a High Templar in here somewhere too. Getting a Storm off, there you go. Beautifully storming the tank. So much easier to kill if you're taking a Storm to the face. Bam, every tank dies. Ooh, Science Vessel gets smacked right in the face by those Dragoons. And this 12 o'clock expansion attempt of RoyaL is shut down. No 4th base for you. Really economical engagement there from Snow. Absolutely terrifying stuff that he can do with shuttles. RoyaL says, I gotta make a counterattack. I have to kill something. So what they can do is kill this probe. They can maybe go after this Nexus a little bit too, as there's not actually anything defending it. Again, vultures are bad against buildings, but give them a minute and they can actually get a lot of work done to something like a Nexus that has a ton of HP. Is there a base down here to kill? No, there's a spider mine scouting that, so that's not new information. And then when you try to come in and deal with the vultures down this way, they've laid spider mines in your path. So yeah, I mean, this is just great stuff from RoyaL. Does take down a pylon at the top of the ramp there, and is like, well, I don't know if we want to go after that Nexus. Trying to hold this high ground against the Terran coming back to take a 4th base over here. Don't know. Archon's 6 kills. Probably most of those kills came when he was 2 High Templar instead of when he was an Archon. Against mech, that's usually the case. So yeah, these vultures are stuck. There's nowhere for them to go, but they're going to use high ground. Hope the Dragoons miss enough shots that they can kill a couple of... There we go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. These Dragoons are fighting high ground against a unit they normally crush but they're losing because of the high ground mischance. More vultures coming down this way. Spider mines everywhere. Yeah, just spider mining up this whole corner. He's like, look, man, if I can't take my own fourth base, which for some reason I can't, then maybe you can't feel comfortable down here either, but Snow's doing fine with it. Don't worry about it. EMP is getting researched. Good against Protoss, especially good against Archons, if that's something that Snow's going to continue to keep doing here, but he really shouldn't. He really should not continue to keep making Archons here, because that's going to get you absolutely murderized once EMP is out. And he knows the threat of EMP. So I doubt we'll see more Archons here unless it's to save a couple High Templar and there's no other alternative. In which case, if it gets EMP'd, so what? That's an EMP that doesn't land maybe on a group of Zealots or a group of Dragoons, or doesn't hit an Arbiter if that tech comes in, which it doesn't seem to be. Not yet, anyway. Another, again, Snow loves this shuttling stuff, man. Dropping in on top of a huge clump of mechs, storms everywhere, Zealots getting cleared out pretty quickly. That is not as successful as the previous drop we had about 60 seconds ago. Maybe longer. Time is a flat circle, and Snow's got to fall back. So RoyaL finally gets his own fourth base here at 16 minutes. We are sitting here at 5 from Snow, so not overextending, but also maybe he wishes he had another base here too, because, I mean, our guy RoyaL is at 185 supply. How do I keep doing that? And, Zealot's getting dragged into siege tanks. Imagine being a siege tank commander. You're sieged up, your big gun is out, you're firing away at the enemy, and then you see a Zealot that's being chased by a spider mine come your way, and you're like, aw, man. Stupid, dumb spider mines. No intelligence at all. They don't know who's friendly. I mean, they kind of do know who's friendly, but they're less concerned about who is friendly and more about just killing the enemy. Stargate coming in, so this could be carriers, but I don't know that we see Snow go carriers a lot. I think Arbiter Tribunal is much, much, much more likely here from Snow. And we get it. Arbiter Tribunal coming up. Excellent. Okay, so I talked to all my love about Arbiter just earlier in the cast, so go back and watch that if you want. But yeah, gonna get some stasis in here, maybe try a recall or two. RoyaL is one of those great Terran players, though, that makes it really hard to recall on them, because they'll have spider mines, they'll have SimCity set up, they'll have turrets everywhere, and getting an Arbiter in there is just, it's a tough nut to crack. Okay, so bottom right base from Snow coming up here. That's going to be his 6th. Looks like RoyaL maybe wants to set up to get a 5th base on this right side. But also, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, most of these scans from RoyaL have just been trying to catch enemy troop movements here in the middle of the map and see if there's a good angle to go where maybe Snow won't catch him, but Snow totally caught him. D-Matrix the tanks take some shots here from these Dragoons, absorbing a few more, and the D-Matrix tank doesn't actually die. All right, there we go. It's an example of D-Matrix really helping in a battle against Dragoons. It's useful. It's a useful spell. We do see it quite a bit, again, from the high-level Terran players. All right, man. RoyaL, it's rampage time. We're at 18 minutes. And Concave Zealot up. This is not a good battle from Snow. Definitely not. But storm the tanks. There you go. 2, 3 tanks went down there. Keeping that tank count below 30 is a major priority for anybody who is playing Protoss. Oh, nice little drop of a siege tank and some vultures back here. All right. Take it up, boys. Storming up the tanks, though. Good pickup on that High Templar. His buddy dies on the ground, but he makes it out. He's going to have survivor's guilt for the, 20 more seconds he's alive, because he's somehow being sent on a suicide mission up. Yeah. Up to get storms off. No way they're getting out of here. Not even close. Dude, is this okay, 11 kills on this tank. Snow, are you all right? Every probe at the bottom right base is now dead. That's kind of problematic. If you are Snow today, 60 to 51 workers in favor of the Terran. This base dying is a massive problem. 12 kill siege tank. 12 kills. Royal's got his 5th base up and rocking here. Snow more concerned with the stuff going on in the bottom right than he is in attacking at the moment, so it's a moment where you can kind of take your time, setting up your defenses, getting this high ground with your now 3-2 siege tanks. The ground units for the Protoss are at 3-1, with no further upgrades coming in for Snow. I mean, at least no attack armor upgrades, and no other kind of upgrades either at the moment. So, we got Zealots, we got Dragoons. We don't and if there's no Storm and there's no Arbiters and there's no Stasis, it's just not going to work out. You can't just Zealot Dragoon your way to victory against high ground siege tanks like this with Spider Mine support. Okay, so the tank gets wiped out. A couple Spider Mines do exist in the base. This Dragoon's very close to dragging the Spider Mine into the mineral line, but there's only 2 probes there, and their cannon coming up anyway, so whatever. Oh, get a little bit of a storm drop from over here. Nice position. Polypoid is good for that. You can put a High Templar right here or a tank right here. Just blah, blah, blah. Go after the workers of whoever has expanded to that location. They can't be happy about that. All right, man. I think Royal's doing okay. Slowing down the economy of Snow. Snow's at 185 supply, effectively maxed out. We're not actually getting any Arbiters today. Still just continuing to make shuttles, which is sort of the current meta, I would say, for Snow, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know why he made the Tribunal and then just said, nah. I guess he just recognized that EMP was out and said, well, RoyaL is one of the better players at EMPing Arbiters that come too close. And if you EMP an Arbiter, it's a worthless stack of garbage for about 3 minutes while that energy comes back. So that's a long time in a game of StarCraft. Yeah, I mean, if RoyaL ends up... he's taking this base. If he takes that top right base, I don't like the position he's in. Vultures need to target fire some probe. Okay, but probe target firing would be better than attacking other... Okay. Not really paying attention that much to those guys was RoyaL, but that's okay. Not every drop has to be a winner. Just got to keep the fear of drops in your opponent's brain, in the back of their head. They can't focus as much on the forward-facing battles. I think that's a good way to play it. Oh my gosh, there is a... No, that's not a recall. That's just a regular old drop. I think. Were those cloaked for a minute? I don't even know. But, if he recalled shuttles into this base, I'm kind of impressed by that. Anyway, Snow's wreaking havoc, going ham here inside RoyaL's main base. An EMP does go down. Science Vessel dies for it, though. Either go after production or go after supply depots. If you're just going to sit here inside the main base of the Terran and just shoot indiscriminately without any target firing, you're not really... You don't belong anymore, right? So there was some target firing on that supply depot, but then Vultures and Goliaths came in to shut this thing down. High Templar's got 2 kills, not enough energy for a storm, tragically. And it looks like Snow... looks like he's... Okay, well, he's going to try to bust this. But yeah, the Spider Mines clear out all of your Zealots, and now you're just fighting siege tanks that have been bruised up. Okay, a second storm is available. Well, third base is in a lot of trouble. Suddenly, +3 Dragoons against your buildings and against your SCV is not going to be a good time. Forcing the liftoff, again, the major advantage that Terrans have is the ability to lift off that command center and get it out of there so it doesn't die. If this was a hatchery, it'd be dead. If this was a Nexus, it would be dead. Because it's a CC, it gets to live another day. Huge. Meanwhile, RoyaL is expanding to this top right corner. Excellent. There is an Arbiter in production, too. So that, again, I feel like this was a recall, but I don't know. It performed as a recall, even if it was just a couple shuttles in a trench coat, pretending to be an Arbiter. Ooh, almost dragged that Spider Mine into that tank, but it doesn't matter if you jump on it with Zealots. Aha, D-Matrix won't save you now. Again, Zealot attacks, man, really eat through D-Matrix pretty effectively. Tanks responding to this battle, though. RoyaL says, you can't have this base, no. I'm gonna keep sending vultures and tanks over here until everything dies. SCVs are getting killed. There was a zealot in here somewhere, but he appears to be wiped out by the vultures, which is usually kind of his. No, there's a guy in here. He's got 8 kills. I did not see him. Was he hiding behind something? I don't know. He's dead now. But friendly fire tank splash wipes out the tank he was attacking. What a Chad. Excellent stuff here. Zealots getting all over. Oh, boy. Into the right side here. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, Royal's responding to this, but a lot of workers are dying, and guess who has the 10 worker lead now? It's Snow at 61 to 52. Dragoons getting all up into this base. Yep, fine, Zealot. Don't fight the Zealot. The Zealot has 3-2 upgrades. You're never going to beat the Zealot. You guys are SCVs. That's never been your lot anyway. More units up into this little high groundy 5th base. Man, 6th base is still running. 7th base at the top right. Not having a great time, but it looks like the reinforcements here from Snow seem to be petering out. And he's at 120 supply to Royal's 115. Zealots come down trying to clear out spider mines with their bodies, and Snow takes his own 7th base. So here's the problem, is that Snow's at 7 bases, and Royal is at 7 bases. And it's going to come down to these left side and right side bases, which is why Royal just scanned that right side 3 o'clock, and this 9 o'clock has not been expanded to. Both players have vision on it. Alright, swinging up the middle here, Snow says, well, if I'm not even base count, I'm going to die. So let's see if I can thin this tank count out. Keep you down around 120 supply rather than closer to 200 on your 7 base economy, because that's usually what happens. And then, oh man, forces guys to siege up there, then gets a bunch of Dragoons up here to this 12 o'clock 4th base. What a great move. Yo, this command center is going to die. Who needs drops? Says Snow. I don't need drops. I'm just going to walk Dragoons through the middle of the map, get them all the way up here, and kill your command center. Wow. That was a gutsy move. Pulled it off, gets the refinery, gets the missile turret too. Yo, okay, so now he says, guess what? We're not on even base count anymore, friend of mine. Mon ami. Yeah, so these guys are probably not making it home, but I don't know, 3 kills, 3 kills, 2 kills, somehow 0 kills on that guy. I'm not sure how exactly that happened. But I do think it's going to come down to these side bases. Or, if this base just doesn't exist, maybe Snow can win anyway if these left side and right side bases aren't taken, but it looks like he wants to take the 9 o'clock. We'll keep an eye on that one, see if that's actually something that manages to happen. Dragoon's high ground against Vultures coming in, not going to have a good time with that. Yeah, Snow's in a good spot, I would say. He's up about 30 supply. 20 of that is army value, but the economy is a base up on the Terran. Can never really complain about that position if you're a Protoss. Not that you know that. These guys actually make it. Dude, these 3 Dragoons made it out of there. Amazing. That's a recall in the main. All right, did sneak a recall in. A lot of stuff died to tank shots and spider mine hits. And in fact, that got cleaned up a lot earlier than I thought it would. I thought that would last maybe longer than 10 seconds. I don't think it lasted 10 seconds. Is how fast everything died in that drop. That was kind of a throwaway by Snow. Yeah, he really needs this 9 o'clock base now. I mean, at this point, might as well take the 3 o'clock. It's not like the Terran's in a position to screw with it at all because, yeah, you're constantly pushing him over this way. Just keeping some fear of Protoss in this guy up along the right side. Drop ship, nothing's in it, just patrolling for future maybe recall attempts on this base or up this way where a lot of SCVs do actually live. Little Vulture harass coming down this way. Could have gotten a probe. Could get some probes there too, but it seems like Royal doesn't want to just sacrifice these Vultures to cannons in order to get a couple probes. He doesn't think that trade is worth it for him today, and that's a choice. I think other Terran players probably would take that, but not Royal right now. And then he just kind of leaves them in the middle of the map. It doesn't micro them at all, and they die anyway. So, yeah, probably better for you to kill some of the probes at this base and take a couple cannon shots in the time being. Is this an 8th base? Yeah, it's an 8th base left side here from Snow. We don't get 8 bases in StarCraft a lot. All right, trying to push up. Snow says, let's go. We have a little bit of storm here we can throw down. Yeah, but that High Templar is kind of lagging behind the rest of the army, bouncing off some of these Dragoons. The pathing is weird. Gonna get maybe target fired down. The Vultures try to get it. High Templar does get up. It does get a storm off on a couple Vultures on the left side, and then is out of energy for anything else and gets obliterated. But, oh, Snow crushing it, man. Going right. Gonna get another command center. RoyaL did retake the 12 o'clock. I think he floated a command center from somewhere, maybe? Maybe from here? Yeah. Maybe he floated it from his 3rd, but yeah, that command center is done. And economically, losing a command center is so brutal for Terran. Not good. Zealots getting up into the 7th base. Zealots and Dragoons at the 6th base. These Dragoons holding high ground, forcing unsieges because Zealots jump on these dudes. Then D-Matrix to keep the tanks alive. Excellent, excellent play there. Oh, man. Yeah, SCV count down in the 20s now compared to the 60s for Snow, and that's it. That's your GG. That one push up the middle turned into an absolutely fantastic win. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful win there from Snow against RoyaL. Like, not... I don't know. It's not all about who's won ASLs, right? Because RoyaL has won an ASL. Snow never did. But, you know, on any given day, if you're up at that level of competition, you can take a map off someone who maybe has a better resume than you. And unquestionably has a better resume than you when it comes to ASL tournaments, which is only one metric. There's other premier tournaments out there. There are major cups that are also played all the time. Right, so you can compete really well in those and maybe not win an ASL. But anyway, GG, like, fantastic showing of PVZ there. There was one recall, maybe another one up over here that I did not recognize as such, but whatever. It's a mystery for our time. A little bit of some good drops here from RoyaL, taking out a bunch of probes down in the bottom right earlier, but he never really followed that up with anything. And yeah, just too much harassment. That one final attack up the middle from Snow really separated out RoyaL's forces. Went right. Bam. All the newest sources of income were in a ton of trouble, and that was it. So, GG. GG. What do we got? 264,000 points to 287,000 points here. At the end of the day, RoyaL outproduced Snow, but it got outkilled by RoyaL by a smaller amount. Resources are going to be a big deal here. 37-3 buildings raises nuts. RoyaL never really moved out, did he? He never even really got incredible Vulture harass done. He never got his tanks across that halfway point of the map. And I mean, that's not going to do it against a good Protoss. If they keep you on your side, you're probably going to die. Resources spent here. That is an outspend by Snow of about 12,000 resources in 31 minutes, which is probably enough. But yeah, it's more about keeping RoyaL pinned on the northern half of the map. Never pleased about that at all. All right, so GG, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.